When we open an ancient text, we usually expect a linear chronicle, a record of people who lived and died in a world that no longer exists. The Quran presents a different structure. It functions as a recurring sequence of patterns, where the events on the page are designed to trigger and repeat within the experience of the person reading it today. Thinking of these stories as history creates a mental buffer. It suggests that the Amanat, the profound trust described in the text, was a one-time offer made to someone else, rather than an active contract currently waiting for your signature. This environment is built from two parallel tracks: D10, the world of deterministic logic, and I9, the dimension of divine command. Every narrative follows a four-step cycle: pair, trial, recognition, and return. This mathematical constant ensures tests resurface across generations. This means you aren't just observing a past timeline. You are navigating a matrix that forces you to choose which of these two fields will define your reality. Take the motif of the river. When King Talut leads his army to the water's edge, the river acts as a filter. It identifies who can master their physical impulses and who is governed by them, sorting the army before the battle even begins. Pharaoh looks at this river and sees power, claiming the rivers of Egypt as his kingdom, the ultimate D10 ego assertion. He mistakes a dynamic, spiritual sorting mechanism for a static, worldly monument to his own authority. The river is not just a location, it is the boundary line where the timeline of submission diverges from the timeline of the self. Measured. The timeline of preservation follows a loop of total surrender. Musa's mother places him in the river to save him from Pharaoh, only for the river to deliver him directly into Pharaoh's house, before returning him to his mother. We see this same formula with Maryam. Before her birth, her mother consecrates the womb field, formally dedicating the coming child to divine service and sealing the vessel against external corruption. Musa in his basket and Miriam in her sanctuary are the same variable in action. They are both protected containers designed to carry essential truth through a hostile environment. This process of preservation reaches its peak in the book. The physical text is the final vessel, surviving across generations because it is carried by those who recognize its structural weight. This is why the names Yahya, Isa, and Maryam are so critical. One seizes the book, one receives the word, and one affirms the truth. They are the human nodes that keep the circuit active. There is a specific danger for those in power: the temptation to judge the world through the ego. Even figures like Dawood and Musa face moments where a worldly illusion startles them, momentarily blurring the line between their own authority and the truth. The difference is the system interrupt. They recognize the test, prostrate, and immediately force their worldly power to submit. The wave of ego collapses into a single point of stillness. Those on the opposite timeline, like Pharaoh or Azar, attempt to force the universe to submit to them. They build towers and ignite fires, trying to seize the I9 field of command through D10 physical force. Pharaoh's attempt to reach the heights results in his ultimate reduction. He sought to master the water, yet he ended as a drowned sign, a body preserved but entirely hollow. He is a monument to mass without spirit. The corpse remains intact, a physical shell that failed to integrate with the eternal. Form and authority are the primary traps of this matrix. True reality belongs to the unseen command that masters both the fire that burns and the water that preserves. The entire dual-field universe eventually compresses down to a single micro-action, the choice of what you seize with your own hands. Consider the figure of Samiri. He grasps the mere dust from a messenger's track to manufacture a golden calf, a dead, static idol born from hollow desire for worldly recognition. Then look at Yahya. He is commanded to take the book with strength. This isn't just a physical hold. It is the act of seizing the trust, turning a silent text into active, living command. This choice is the definition of akal, or intellect. It is the ability to see through the taguth, the matrix of worldly illusion, and recognize the structural truth beneath it. Every figure we've traced, Musa, Maryam, Pharaoh, represents a different phase of the choice you are making right now. Because you are the one currently holding the book, the entire machine focuses on your response. The ultimate question is 1912. When will you grasp the book with strength?